it's night, when it's day, we explore. We investigate. The paranormal. To seek the truth. E.V.P.S. Paranormal.
So what just happened?
Well, got close to the building over there, Mackey's, and it just fell out of the sky. Thankfully, I think it just busted a couple of props off of there. I mean, it scuffed it up, but I think it's okay.
Yeah,
So,
that was really weird because I think what happened was it was like mid-air and it just dropped.
yeah, it was about 40, 50 feet in the air. I was getting ready to go over top of the building, and I got close to it, and it just dropped. So,
That's weird.
yeah, very weird.
Moments before the crash, I remember walking up from the back way of Bobby Mackey's Music World. I saw the drone suddenly drop, out of nowhere. I couldn't wrap my head around why this happened. Battery was fine. Everything on it was okay, but suddenly it just dropped from the sky. Who knows? Maybe something paranormal happened to it. Maybe it's just a faulty equipment. We don't know, but it was definitely a strange occurrence that happened that night. One of many.
Well, let's see. So I'll give you, again, brief history. This building was actually built by organized crime, the mob. I don't know if you guys knew this area of northern Kentucky back in the early 1900s was really big into organized crime. The first guy who built this property, his name was E.A. Brady, Buck Brady. He named it the Primrose and operated as the Primrose for several years. Did really good, was making a lot of money. And so another guy from Cleveland, his name was Red Masterson. When he heard about this club, he actually came down here with his guys. He was also in organized crime, a different group, when they call themselves the Syndicate, or the Cleveland Syndicate, sometimes the Syndicate 4. If you guys are from around here, you guys aware of the Syndicate in Newport, the club? Mm-hmm. It's kind of like the same family still, so it's all kind of hush-hush. But so he tried to take over the club from Buck Brady. And they had shootouts in the streets of Newport over the club, had all kinds of, feuds going on. And probably, I guess, a couple of months after they had the shootout, Buck Brady was actually found dead in Florida with a shotgun blast to the head. It was ruled as a suicide, but of course everybody knows it was probably a hit. Red Masterson soon took over the club, and he renamed it the Latin Quarter, and it operated as the Latin Quarter until it shut down, I believe, in the 50s, I think it was. And the building sat dormant for a while, and then another establishment moved in. This was a biker bar. It was called the Hard Rock Cafe, but they nicknamed it the Bloody Bucket. It was so violent. There was a lot of stuff going on. And it operated as the Bloody Bucket for a while, and then it ended up getting shut down after a few months, again, all the violence. And then again, it lied dormant for a while, and then Bobby bought the building in 1978, and it's been open since. So it's kind of, this is pretty much how it looks when he bought it. He hasn't done a whole lot to it. He tries to keep the interior of the building looking just like it was whenever he bought it. Just kind of adds to the history and the ambiance of it. So with the paranormal stuff, this is kind of why we think there is a lot of activity here. With organized crime, they're not very civil people, right? They don't handle things civilly. They can be very violent people. And so we've heard a lot of stories about some things that's happened in here. And we think that's, why there is some of the activity that goes on here. And then, of course, we have people from all over the world. to come and investigate, such as you guys. And a lot of these people are, different religious backgrounds, different spiritual beliefs, and they do all this conjuring, rituals, and it conjures up these things. So there's been things invited in here, through the years as well. And then you guys have probably heard the stories of Bryan, the young lady who was decapitated. You've probably heard the story of Johanna, who was one of the showgirls here. Her story, actually, Johanna, we've not been able to really positively say that story is 100% true. I think there's a little bit of truth to it, but over the years, urban legend, details get mixed up and things like that. So we're not really sure about her story. Bryan's story is 100% true. It's actually a pretty fascinating true crime story if you ever get the chance to really look into it. But we'll talk a lot more when we go down in the basement about people. As far as any paranormal activity up here, well, you see the chair here. When I walked in this evening, the chair is lying here, which to me this is really strange. I've never encountered anything like that here. So I don't know why the chair would be there, but you guys said you heard a lot of noises and stuff when you were outside?
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, as far as activity here around this corner of the bar, of course, you're going to see shadows all over the building, actually. There are shadows everywhere and footsteps everywhere. But this corner of the bar, you'll actually start to see like shadows peeking out from around the bar and from underneath the bar, from around the corners of the walls and stuff like that. But there are times that we'll hear the bottles kind of like they're clanging together. You'll hear just like things moving around. And this particular area right here, you will quite often hear what sounds like male voices talking. You're not able to really tell what they're saying, but you can just tell that there's multiple male voices. And then also right here, it gets very active, again, with shadow activity. And especially back here in the men's restroom, you'll see a lot of shadows coming in and out through this area as well. It actually gets really active through here. So when you're down in the basement, you'll actually hear things walking back and forth through here. And it's pretty loud. You'll hear loud bangs, like, things falling on the floor, or, probably pretty similar to what you guys heard when you were outside. So this is a really active area right here. All right, so up here, this is the area where Carl Lawson, who was the old caretaker here, he actually had an exorcism performed on him up here in this area. This used to be the old kitchen part of the dinner club casino establishment. We heard a lot of gory stories about things that's happened up here in the kitchen as well. So, has anyone seen Carl's exorcism video? Have you guys?
I've watched the full thing. Yeah.
It's pretty creepy.
It's terrifying.
Yeah, and he would refer to himself as Charlie quite often. But Carl, he was genuinely just a really nice guy. He was very quiet. He was, I wouldn't say shy, but he was just more of a loner. He would kind of stick to himself, and he really wasn't the violent type. He wasn't obnoxious, but then he would have these episodes where he would start acting like, like he would act in the video, and he would refer to himself as Charlie and become very violent and vulgar. And so, yeah, but a lot of things like that, I think, has kind of stayed, the events from that exorcism has kind of stayed up here. A lot of that energy. We hear things up here all the time. I get a lot of EVPs of female voices up here. Of course, again, shadows and stuff like that. But when you walk up this step, sometimes you can actually hear it creak really, really loud. And again, when you're down in the basement, you can hear that. And again, it's super, super loud. Again, voices and stuff like that. But also if you're up here and you kind of look out throughout the bar, you'll start to see, again, shadow movement, especially in and out of those doorways that's on each side of the stage. We get a lot of shadow activity coming in and out of those doors. So let's go down that way. We'll check that out. to really give you a whole lot of details. But this little table right here, maybe kind of watch that table. See if you get any activity around this table. It's activity that just started. And when I mean just, I'd say probably about a year or so ago was when we started noticing things around that area.
Specific?
I'm sorry?
Anything that's happened with chairs moving over?
No. All right, so this area here, this was actually the casino part of the casino. This is where you would have had the poker tables and the slot machines and stuff like that. That's where all of this stuff took place. And we kind of refer to this area as the creepy corner, just because we've had a lot of personal experiences back here. And when all the lights are out, you'll understand why we call it the creepy corner, because it's really just gives off a really creepy vibe.
That's where we had activity when we were here. We didn't have anything the whole night except for when we were leaving. We took a group picture in front of the stage and we're like, last minute, do something.
Right.
And then there was a chair that was
You heard. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, it gets really weird back here. All right, so as far as activity back here, like I mentioned, we get a lot of personal experiences back here. I couldn't tell you how many things happen back here. Just about every time that I'm here, we get something back here. From what looks like a full-bodied human solid form standing against the pool table, to the shadows and people getting touched, and just hearing the voices and just weird lights and stuff like that happen back here all the time. But probably one of the craziest things that and I know this doesn't sound like much, but all the years that Laura and I have been doing this, we've always asked, we'll set up a cue ball or a pool ball and ask, whatever's here, just, push the ball into the pocket. And for years, it's never happened until about last year. We had a group here and we stood back here for 10 minutes trying to, get communication, trying to get something to push the ball into the pocket. And it never did until we walked away, and about 10 minutes later, be damned if that pool ball didn't fall right into the pocket. It was just, we were pretty excited, that this happened, because, and also, we've had a couple of people who have been they're Down syndrome kids, and they've come with some of the groups that their family or whatever. And I've had 2 separate occasions where a Down syndrome kid has come here and have asked if there was a portal here. And both of these individuals pointed to this corner and said that they saw a hallway over here, and asked, in the dark, they asked if there was a hallway there, because that's what they were seeing. They were seeing a doorway with a hallway. I said, no, it's a solid door. There's nothing on the other side of that wall. That's the outside wall. But again, they said that they would see this hallway, a doorway, and you would enter it, and they could see movement back in that hallway, which is really bizarre. 2 separate people. So pretty fascinating. The doors here, they are blacked out, but there are some areas of the door that allow outside light to come in. So you may see headlights against this wall right here, and you also may see a headlight passing by on this wall here, and you can tell it pretty easily. So we've heard a lot of knocking noises back here. And these knocking noises are not really like random noises. These are noises that are in a pattern, or trying to get your attention, repetitive and in a pattern, trying to communicate with you. And a lot of times that kind of is centered around this little corner area as well. So that's probably pretty much it to here. So we will go upstairs to the apartment if you guys want. Ready? This little room right here, this is Bobby's green room. I'm going to come in here with you. So again, this is Bobby's green room. When Bobby, he still performs every Friday and Saturday night. So when he takes a break, he'll come in here and hang out with family and friends. And this actually used to be the cashier's box of the casino, which is why you see the sliding window here.
Oh,
And
wow.
then of course you have this very large safe that's right behind you,
Oh, that's a
which is
safe.
pretty cool. Now, if you remember me talking about Buck Brady just a little bit ago, Buck Brady was the original owner of the Primrose. If you look on the outside of this safe, you will see where it says built specially for E.A. Brady. This, I think this safe is probably about 120 years old. It weighs 5,500 pounds. And it was here when Bobby purchased the building, and he hired a locksmith to crack it open. Of course, it was empty, but still a pretty cool piece of history and a part of the history of the building. So pretty neat. It'll be here until this building is gone, I'm sure. So yeah. As far as any activity in here, honestly, I personally have not had a lot happen in here. There is an ice machine that's behind you, so it does make a lot of noise. So any kind of noises that I hear from back here, I pretty much discount it because of that. But you're welcome to come in. There have been other people, said that they have seen, shadow activity in and out of here. But myself, I have not experienced a whole lot of stuff. So, but you're welcome to come in. If you do, I would keep this closed just so that you block out all the noise and whatnot going on out there. So. All right, so we'll go up to the apartment.
Wow.
So Carl Lawson, again, the old caretaker, he lived up here for, oh gosh, almost 15 years, I believe. He pretty much moved in right when Bobby bought the building, again, which was in 1978. And then I think he moved out, it was like the mid-90s, early to mid-90s, so he was up here for quite a while. This is the area where he experienced a lot of activity himself, which, again, I think just kind of wore him down after so long. He became, susceptible to something attaching to him, which obviously, happened. So, as far as activity up here, I haven't had a whole lot myself. Other people have. They've had a lot of personal experiences, but the only thing that I can tell you that I've experienced up here was a really very cool EVP of a male voice, and I swear it sounded just like Carl. But other people have had a lot of stuff happen to them up here. And most recently, we had a group here with an SLS camera, and they had it pointed in that direction. And they said they could see, and they showed this to me, and I saw it as well. You could see a noose hanging from the corner, and you could see a figure hanging from it, and you can see its arms flailing, which was really bizarre and very, very disturbing to see. So, I'm not aware of any kind of event that happened like that up here, but I will say during the casino days, this was actually the VIP area of the casino. So the high rollers would come up here and, gamble and all of that stuff. So, but other people have said they've seen, again, shadow activity. And right where you're standing, actually, we've had a lot of reports of seeing a purple, like misty kind of, not a figure, but just a, I don't know, just a little misty area right here. And it has a purple hue to it, kind of like a purple haze, which is pretty funny. But yeah, so that's a little bathroom in there too, which Carl had a lot of activity in that bathroom as well. Let's see what else. That's all I can think. Sometimes you'll hear what sounds like, heavy footsteps and stuff up here when you're downstairs. And also, pay attention, this window here, you may even see it now, but there's a lot of air or wind that comes through, and you'll see that shade on that window move, and sometimes you'll hear it. So, thank you. I think that's pretty much it up here.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. I just didn't want you to fall backwards.
Oh, there's a puppy! Where?
Is it a puppy or is it a coyote?
A dog, a white and black.
Coyote?
Sam, hold on a second. It's white and black. It's gone now. It's all the other side. It was very fluffy. Yeah. Bring home a dog to Jess.
Hide a dog.
So like, hey, so I found this dog.
He's Evie, the paranormal dog.
All right. Just don't fall.
Yeah.
So, you guys see this wooden structure right here. This is what a lot of people think was the old slaughterhouse. I mentioned when the mob purchased this property, they built the club upstairs on top of this little building. And again, this was early 1900s, so everything that you see above us and around through here, none of this was here during the Bryan murder, which was back in 1896. So again, a lot of people think this is the old slaughterhouse. Some of the research that we've done suggests that it's not the slaughterhouse. The research actually points out that the slaughterhouse was located at the far end of the property. We're not 100% for sure, but so the story of Bryan, I'm sure everybody has heard. Would you guys like me to go through it again? Or?
Sure.
If you want to, yeah.
Okay. So Bryan was a young lady from Indiana. She would visit this area, family and friends, and she was actually very wealthy. And during her time here, she actually became involved with a young man who was a dental student with UC. And during their courtship, she becomes pregnant. He actually tried to convince her to have an abortion. She tried to convince him to marry her, and neither one of them would give in. So he came up with the idea, along with his roommate, who was also a dental student, that they were going to do this abortion on her without her knowledge. So having access to medical equipment and drugs and things like that, being dental students, they took her to dinner downtown Cincinnati, and they drugged her food. They drugged her dinner. And as she became unconscious, they loaded her onto a horse-drawn carriage and brought her not to this building, but 2 miles south of here in this direction to an old farm. And she was still alive, of course, and then they drug her body out to the field and proceeded to do this abortion. And of course something happened and she died. My guess is she probably bled out or they overdosed her. And they panicked. So to prevent her from being identified, they decapitated her. They cut her head off. They left her body lying in the field there at the farm and put her head in a brown leather bag and went back to downtown Cincinnati. They went to a saloon, they started drinking, kind of started bragging about what they had done. And then as they were bragging, other people, were going to tell the police, and so they somehow, I don't know, they got away and then disposed of her head. They had always told the police, because the police did eventually find her body and were able to identify her only by her shoes, but they told the police that they had brought her head here in this building and disposed of her head that's in the well that's in that little room. Her head was never found. So the well that's in this room actually flows underneath the building, underneath the railroad tracks, and it empties out into the river that's right behind the building here. So of course, it washed away. It never would have been found. So again, they were able to identify her finally by her shoes, and then of course they were able to figure out who did this. And then the two gentlemen, if you want to call them that, they were publicly executed just a couple of blocks up the street here on March 21st, 1897. Their public executions were the last public hangings of Campbell County at that time. So again, she wasn't, a lot of people think that she was murdered here, or but she was not, unfortunately. Well, fortunately. But we're going to go back in there into the well, building throughout the years through the tunnel system. And so they had it filled in so that people couldn't get in. Now, as far as my personal experiences with the well itself, honestly, I've never had anything specific happen with the well itself. In this room, yes, absolutely. But a lot of other people would, beg to differ. They've had a lot of things happen, centered around the well, but just not my experience. Right behind me is the, what a lot of people would call the stairway to nowhere. This is the hallway back to the men's restroom. And this used to be a trapdoor up here at the very top. So the mob would use that trapdoor. Of course, now this is during Prohibition. Alcohol and gambling was illegal. So if they were getting raided, they would roll down their barrels to men who were working down here, dump the alcohol either in the well, or they would roll the barrels over into the river. But they were also, they would bring people down here through that trapdoor. These people were caught cheating, stealing.
The light just went out. Interesting.
Yeah. Do you see?
That was me.
You turn out the lights?
Did you turn off that light? That light just went out.
I don't even know where the switch is at.
The switch is right behind you guys there. Yeah, this light has never gone out. Never.
Wow.
Never has this light ever gone out.
Huh, that's weird.
So you said copper cheating.
Another
Was
627.
this a casino at one point in time?
I'm sorry.
Was this a casino at one point in time?
The casino was upstairs. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So, but yes. So if people were caught cheating or stealing, or they owed a debt to the club upstairs, they would bring those people down here to be dealt with later. They had guys that were working down here, and they would hold these people down here, and they would hold them right in here. This is an actual cell that's right in here. You'll see there used to be metal bars, and you can actually still see the metal hinging on the right-hand side. This is the little room that Bobby has had a lot of old-timers through the years tell him stories about this room. Supposedly there were some tortures and murders in this little room. This is the room that a lot of people have the most physical things happening to them. I have stood out here and I have watched grown men just freak out because they hear things and they feel things, and marks will start to appear on their bodies, and so this room does get really, really funky. The K2 meters and stuff like that will go off quite a bit in there. REM pods, all that kind of equipment will start to alarm in there. It gets really weird in there. It's probably one of the most active down in the basement. So.
Yes. Buck Brady.
Red Masterson.
Red Masterson.
Or Albert Masterson.
Is that you, Red? Okay, so I'm gonna go on down. You want me to leave the necrophonic running?
Yeah, that's fine.
It's kind of like a spirit box. You got to kind of like tune your ear to it. Yeah, you can put it right there. You got to kind of try to listen to it without all the noise around you. But it is what it is. Here, put it wherever you think you need to. Right here. I'll be back. Let me see what's going on. That one?
Yeah, Sam, that's my name. What's going on? You're here? What's your name? Steve? I hear Steve. Well, Steve, what you doing here? You asking me the same thing? Is that what you just said? I got Joe. There's Joe walking down the stairs. Scream? I don't want to do that.
How much you making?
Carl with us? here, or if anybody's here, if you wouldn't mind tapping this bell that's right above me, letting us know that you're here. Do you trust me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Burn a trumpet light. It is 50.0 degrees in there now.
What's so special about the bathroom? Yeah. What?
Well, I was going to turn it off, but I don't know how to turn it on that thing. I don't think he left it. Did he give you a walkie? No. Okay, cool.
I'm from this neighborhood. How long you been here? I'm a Covington boy. How long you been here? 10?
Can you go touch that antenna over there that's on the floor? Yes? Here, I'll show you a demonstration. You can try and mimic this. Sorry guys, it's me walking. Probably can't hear me. 49.9 now. So there's this antenna over here. And this guy that was over here that was talking to Diane, if you can come over here, just touch the top of that. Make the noise. Not a pleasant noise, but you can just touch it, put your hand anywhere near on it, it will go off. It's now gone down 0.2 degrees.
Who are we talking to?
Buck?
How you doing, Buck?
Good. Or that this place was your livelihood. Until the Red Masters didn't come and took it over from you.
Steele?
He stole one from you.
I know something about that. You from here, Buck?
That door was shut all the way. Right?
No, this one's open.
Well, we're pushing it. That's how I had it the last time.
So, Buck, I'm a Covington boy. I've been coming here a couple times. Last time I was here about 6 years ago listening to music. Were you here then? Yeah? You like the music here? No? You're not a country music fan? No? What kind of music you like? Good? Repeat that.
You were dead? Carl? Carl died of this, didn't he?
Yes? Now, you wouldn't have had anything to do with that, would you, Buck?
Carl, why did you hang yourself? They hung up.
News, happened all up. Did you tell the news? Coward.
Are you calling Carl the coward?
No.
No. Who was the coward?
No. Shake.
Hmm?
Something just snuck. Like long clean shaking. You're here? Yeah?
Who was up in this room before? Alex? Who else did you say, Alex? Who else was up here? Who just left this room? Alex didn't leave this room. Who left this room? Sister.
Hi.
Does a dog work?
You like dogs?
What's on the other side of that wall? Or that door? What was back there?
Don't go there.
Don't go there. There was a hotel on the other side of that door. It was the entrance. Got it?
It just got stupid cold.
It's 49.4 something, 0.6 degrees now.
I'm saying it's more than me.
Walking over to Becky. Right here. I think I just moved away from Bryan.
Oh, you like the Beatles? Yes? I like the Beatles.
What year are you from?
Yeah. Not loud.
Yeah, that camera up there is 10 minutes
10
lagging.
minutes later. They're trying not to buck like the Beatles.
No? You don't like the Beatles?
He said he listens to them.
What's your favorite song? Can you play the song?
Next one. I gotta go.
Bump, bump. I really want to turn this dark.
It's a little dark in here now. No.
Who's in here with us? Who's in this room right now? Say toast. Butt? Buck?
I have a question. The lady that gave us this tour told us that there was mob-related activity here. Is that true? No? See, I figured that as well. Because, see, my family's been here a while. What was it, bikers? Yeah? Was it bikers?
Did you hear that?
Mm-hmm.
The whimper?
See, I've been here a while. My family's been here a really long time. I never heard of the mob, but I knew the horsemen were here. The real horsemen. Just one? Huh. Bad? Oh, are you a 1%er? I'm bothering you.
Would you like us to leave? Would you like us to leave this room? So I guess.
No.
No. Did you just hear that?
Mm-hmm.
It was a big thump.
It's to my left.
Let me just call them and make sure they didn't make a noise downstairs.
No, it sounded like that.
A big thump.
Good. See, I like clear answers, like letting us know that you're actually here and going and ringing that bell over there. See, I can feel you and know you're here, but it's not more our case. Go ahead and ring that buzzer over there.
We are only here to see you.
Did you just say cop?
It must be a very lonely place to be here. I know the bar only opens up for Fridays and Saturdays. So what do you do for the rest of the time while you're here? I think maybe we should just head downstairs.
Oh. Don't go. You hear that?
Yeah, I don't have a good feeling. I keep looking back over this way. You want me to turn on the light?
There we go. Finally got the camera focus. Sorry, it's kind of a piece of crap. So there's the one.
Why is there a chair like randomly just chilling there?
I don't know.
They're well watching.
Shut up.
Lindsay, do you want to do your Estes right here?
Yeah, sit in that chair.
You want to go in the cellar?
Sure.
The cell, I mean.
You can do it yourself if you want. I believe you're locked. Okay, so Lindsay, I'll show you how to operate this. Somebody want to run the YouTube live for a minute? Sure.
I'm very little peculiar.
That's all right. You just got to point and shoot. Try to keep it light. So come in here. Cop squat. One of your chairs. Take a choice of which point you want.
Oh, Cameron, you get to sit next to me.
Okay. Ooh, there you go. So put your hands down.
Come on,
Down, boy.
Down, boy.
All right. Put your headphones on. Noise canceling Sony headphones.
Maybe.
Yeah, they're smarter than headphones. Come on now.
Yeah, that's not. That's not happening.
Golly.
I have a 4.0 GPA.
I can tell. Believe me. There's plenty of you running out there. All right. Wow.
Shouldn't you put the blindfold on first?
Oh,
Yeah, you can put that on first, the blindfold.
I don't think she could hear us. She has the headphones on.
That one.
The Bobby cover.
See anything? Right?
Here, Dad, you want me to get in there and record?
Well, one minute, I'm going to set it up for her.
Okay.
I can't see that.
Sorry.
Yeah, like the only light source.
Sorry.
Alright. So, we're going to leave the temperature off.
I can still hear you a bit.
Yeah, it's not on yet. Hold on. Can you hear the fuzz?
I can hear the fuzz, yeah.
Okay.
What the fuck? Sorry, Dad. Trying to keep the light, but just.
We just heard a sound that came from right here.
Oh, caution.
And
Hold on, let me get it going first, man.
what that's telling us is it's cautionary. There it is.
Pretty good rate, right, guys?
Yep. Okay. I'm gonna step in.
Is everybody in here? Is everybody in here from earlier? Do you want us in here?
Come on, talk to us. You wanted to talk to us while we were inside the building. Have nothing to say now?
Lynn, are you hearing anything at all coming through?
Nope.
Okay, so if you do hear something, you just repeat what you hear. So let me try to set it on a different channel for you, okay?
Key.
So let's try the AM band, guys. That was the FM. What do you think, forward or reverse?
Forward.
Forward.
Come on, you told us to go to the basement.
Right here.
You in there?
Are you in this cell? You want us to go somewhere?
Didn't you tell us to go to the basement?
This is Lindsay running the Estes method. your first time using it?
Are we still in danger?
The person that scratched me in here.
Smack.
Yeah, I was more of a smack.
What's your name?
Why?
Why what?
Why are we here?
Why?
Why are we here?
Why'd you smack me?
Bryan.
Pearl Bryan. Are you here?
Is your name Bryan?
Did you hurt Pearl Bryan?
How about Johanna? What about Johanna? Johanna, the dancer that worked here.
Why did you say Bryan? Did Bryan hurt you? Are you still here? Can you make a knocking sound?
Why aren't you talking to us now?
You want us to go somewhere else?
Keep talking through the sound box.
Let us know you're here.
Why are you here?
Do you want to be left alone?
Yep.
Okay.
What?
Should we leave then?
Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of a good question. Should we leave? Are we in trouble?
Is this your cell?
Maybe we could ask questions from out there.
Maybe. I think it might be a good idea to maybe move closer to the well. Dad. What? They're what? Oh, okay. Lindsay.
Yeah.
We're gonna move.
How funny was that?
That was. Yep. You want to be left alone? Yep. Sorry, Lindsay.
Yeah, that last time you said something. I'm like, do you want to be left alone?
Hey, Lindsay. You still want to do it, or somebody else want to do it?
Honestly, it gets easier. Like at first, my senses were like fucking freaking out, but it gets easier. And I'm kind of
to try.
You want to try?
honestly.
Okay.
Love to. Scared as fuck.
Will you hold this camera for me? And just aim it on us. I'll get Katie set up. Come here, Katie. Where's that blindfold at? Right here. Thank you. All right. I'm gonna keep it on the same speed because I don't know how to change the speeds.
There's like so many words going through, but like only a few of them stood out. But there was like continuously like a woman shrieking.
You hear a woman shrieking?
Yeah.
You said Bryan, like pro Bryan.
Oh yeah, I did.
Like it, every once in a while, it would just be like
Okay. Hold that.
something like
And
that.
then
This. Or something have to adjust it on top of the box.
All right. Ready, Katie? Mm-hmm. All right. You know what?
Is that what you guys heard?
We just heard like, well, you'll probably hear it. It's like quick choppy static.
Hey, Dad.
Yeah.
Show me how to work this. He's gonna do it now. Show me how to work this.
Maybe how to work it.
No, I want to know how to work it. Show me how to work it.
Okay, so you're on AM still.
Yeah.
You're on 50 to 100, so you either forward or reverse, decide which one you want for each channel. Hold it down.
Oh, hold it down. Both.
No, just one at a time. Okay, now do the other one. Now you can do one forward and one reverse if you want. Now see how it's
That's
fast?
like what we heard.
Change the rate one at a time. Just hit the sweeper. So whatever you feel like it'll do. Now,
Okay.
and then raise the volume up. And then that one.
Oh, that was.
Are you recording? Did you get anything on yours, Lynn?
Yeah, we got Bryan,
Yeah, I heard that
and she
part.
said that she did scream after consent down, and then we asked her if you want to leave me alone, and they said yep.
My name is Joe. Who's here with me down here? We're next to the well, Bobby Mackey. Give me your name.
Who are we speaking with right now? Who are we speaking with right now? Pearl, are you down here? Scared? Scared? Pearl, is that you? Are you scared?
Who is holding the spirit box?
Two what? Do you have a message for us?
Give us a name of somebody here. Are you Buck?
Is that you, Buck? How about Charles?
Why don't you want to talk to us now? Freak. Who's a freak?
You're just now warming up to her, so why don't you give us some real answers? We're playing games.
I keep saying it over. I can't tell what it's saying.
I know it keeps on moving.
Are you scared to talk to us?
So at this point in time, off to the right, you will see a section that's kind of shadowy. In my peripheral vision, I keep seeing a lot of shadows, even though we didn't capture anything on camera.
It's warm right here. It's warm right here.
You know what happened to Pearl?
You're scared, aren't you? You don't want to talk to us because you're scared.
Fire. Is there a fire here?
What can you tell me about the Beverly Hills supper fire?
I was intrigued by the fire portion because not too far from Mackey's is a place that used to be called the Beverly Hills Supper Club. And as you could see, it was the site of a very tragic day where over 200 people lost their lives.
I remember. I see walking. The cigarette
Where
fire.
did it fall in there?
The light in the one I see. Everyone looked at it.
Yep. Why do you just keep saying yep? Say something.
What was Jackson's first name?
Yep.
That's Jackson.
Crazy.
What was Carl's last name?
Lawson.
It's time for what?
1965.
Oh, Buck.
You found that from Buck? Yep. There's Buck.
Hey, Buck, what's your original first name?
Rick?
Anything else? You got the biggest check here. You mind if I take your money?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Oh my god, are you fucking serious? C. Moorhead. C. Moorhead.
I got your check, Buck.
Stop.
Why? I got your money, Buck. You got the biggest check here, buddy.
That's why you got snapped. Shut up. No, seriously, just don't shut up. Stop. He doesn't like messing with his shit. So...
What's that training for? What about September 16th, 1965?
Chase Priest, Mark William, Margaret E. Brown, E. Tucker, and Baldwin. New quick plate.
You want us down here? You said some?
Is it
have a Walter Burke here?
Are you angry?
It's not nice language to use.
Are you angry at someone?
Look at this. The light hour. 48 looking for.
So why don't you here if you're inside of it?
Oh, let's see. That's what I never see it.
I don't see anything.
I got another receipt right here. That's 6 pictures. Is it set?
Can you explain what you mean by that?
United Steelworkers of America. Who's Janet? That's really nice handwriting. Swing. Swing. Yes.
What's my name?
It's 11:23. I got to bring you in that. So I'm gonna go back upstairs. Are you guys okay down there by yourself?
Yeah. I want to do the rest of this method.
Yeah, so we got communication out here. I'm gonna go on up and go back to the building.
Was I just yelling out nonsense? Because I feel like that's all I was doing.
No, not necessarily.
Some of it was didn't really make sense, but
Here, you get the camera.
I don't remember saying that.
F? Or something like that?
Yes?
Yes?
Yes.
Oh,
Yep. I kept hearing, yep. They were saying something at one point, like, over and over and over, and I'm like, I'm trying so fucking hard to get it, and I couldn't. Wow. Alright. It's crazy how it goes from, you just hear the channels clicking to a voice and okay. That's wild.
let's put some off. Let's put some off. I got his check.
is someone here with us? You want to talk to us?
Stop. Please stop.
Stop what?
Stop.
Do you want us to leave?
Who's this?
Who is this?
Hello.
What's your name?
I will.
Are you gonna talk to us? You will talk to us?
Leave.
You want us to leave?
Stop it.
Yeah. Should we leave?
Ah!
Is there anything else you want to say?
Who are you?
Tell us who you are. Tell us your name, and then we'll leave.
Trouble. Please stop it. Stop. Come with me now.
Where do you want us to follow you? Should we go to a different road?
Shut off. Get it off. We're done. Get off. Get it shut off. Let's go. Fast off. Finish off. Let's go.
I don't know how to turn this camera off.
What happened, man? You don't want to know what I saw. Let's just go.
Okay, so the next little clip here that you're going to see, we don't know if it's paranormal or what this is. It does not sound like anybody from the group. We figured we'd let you guys decide, and we would put up what we thought could be there.
We have to turn the light off. Let's make Alex do it. Down here. So go home. Now.
Lock it?
Yeah.
Yeah, how do I turn the camera off?
Yeah, you can turn the
I
camera.
don't know how to turn it off.
Yeah, turn that off.
Okay, so Diane just recently was starting to feel sick. She had to end the live stream. And Katie over here had measured Diane's temperature with the digital thermometer. And as you can see now, it's
90.
pretty much normal, 80, 90,
But
that kind of stuff.
before, I had it right here, and she dropped down to 60, 50 degrees.
Yeah,
Now
it
she's
was
back
just
up to
plummeting, and we
90.
didn't get it on camera. We was trying to make sure Diane was okay, but yeah,
Yeah,
she was
you're
feeling
burning up.
nauseous, and she pretty much had ended our live stream on Facebook because of how she was feeling.
Last thing I want to talk about before the video ends, I want to say thank you guys for following us on this journey to Bobby Mackey's music world. It's been a complicated journey, but I appreciate you guys personally for sticking with us. My sister Diane had some complicated issues that night. I don't know what or even how to even explain anything that was going on, but she was cursing. She was wasn't in this right state of mind, and it was very weird. And it made me feel like she was possessed by something, or something might have got a hold of her, or I don't know, I couldn't tell you. But she will be okay. The Tales of the Unknown series will return on April 10th, 2022, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you guys, and have a good one.